Ahoy, fellow Garak-Bashir fans.
And welcome aboard the Joy of Trek, a duplicitous podcast exploring the baccarat tables and volcanic layers of Star Trek. All of it. I'm Kaki.
I'm Kay.
And ruining Kaki's fantasies is your chief engineer, Greg.
Together, we're on a mission through the expendable runabouts of Star Trek to find the spatula in every computer and the excellence in every episode.
Even the trashed defiant.
Because every episode must be someone's favorite, and it might as well be us.
So ask yourself, who is Dex? And join us as we pop the cork into
The Joy of Trek.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. And, oh bless, our chief engineer even drops a little note into our script here saying,
yes.
Garak-Bashir is the ship name of Garak and Bashir. You're welcome.
I was going to say, that's like Garak/Bashir, I suppose, yes.
Yes, exactly. Hello, everyone. Guess which episode we are doing today?
Well, everybody has been paying attention, or at least glanced at their podcasting device when they started off. They would know that is episode 10, season 4 of DS9. Our Man Bashir.
Yes. Our Man Bashir first aired on November 27th, 1995, written by Robert Gillen and Ronald D. Moore and directed by Winrich Kolbe.
Boo.
Featuring basically no guest actors except for, Chief, who played Eddington?
That would be Ken Marshall, who played the lead in the 1983 movie Kroll, as well as having a recurring character in Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula. Just a really fantastic actor.
Thank you, because for the rest, it's all main cast.
Well, the Falcon, the guy, the Falcon in the first shot.
Does he speak?
Ooh, you don't know.
It's the spy one, everyone.
Yes.
Kay, do you want to do your synopsis?
Oh, yes. During
Surprise.
Oh, let's see. How are we going today?
You were much more confident the first time I asked, and then I asked the second time. So I'm curious how you'll do it the third time that I ask.
Garak surprises Bashir by joining in his holosuite fantasy. And as there is a transporter mishap, the lives of the crustacean crew are in peril, and the game must be played lest the holosuite kills off the main cast of the season.
Yeah. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
They were definitely clearly in peril, and they almost all died, and it was certainly not going to be a last-minute rescue.
But, it's the James Bond one, guys. It's the James Bond one, because that's Bashir's fantasy.
Yes.
Pastiches of various James Bond properties. Our man Flint was part of it, which famously ended with the phrase, Julian Bashir, secret agent, will certainly return.
Yes.
But then they got some angry letters from MGM, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Yes, Kay. So this episode came out in the months before the release of GoldenEye, the revival of the, at that point, pretty moribund James Bond franchise. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of excitement for the return of the franchise, and this was kind of capitalizing on that a little bit.
Sneaky.
Yeah, and
you can't really stop someone from doing a pastiche of your IP, is it?
No, and Ronald D. Moore said, well, we were very, very careful, and Jay Chataway, who did the music, was always
I noticed that was my first note, actually, not quite Bond music. It's very reminiscent of it, but it's... I guess a bit like our own theme song by the...
I don't know what you're talking about. No, it's completely unrelated, clearly. It doesn't have,
by the fantastic Foxamore, who...
And he certainly didn't drop in several references to a whole host of different Star Trek theme songs. No, he would never. But man, they all trying to work around the studio's own reticence. Paramount itself was careful not to get into legal hot water.
Oh, of course.
But so, Jay Chataway wrote about, so when you want to do something sneaky as a musician, you don't tell them your plans first. You start off, and you just quickly compose it on your own in the background, and then you bring that in as a temp track. Yes. And, I'm thinking something like this, and then they hear it, and they go, yeah, that's fine. Get on with it. So that's a great way to get away with things.
Sneaky.
But in the end, at the time, I guess MGM, with their franchise newly being revived by GoldenEye, they were very sensitive. And while there was originally a plan, said Andrew Robinson, for this to become a running thing, like Vic Fontaine's casino and lounge would later become. It turned out to be a little too risky. Also,
it's such a shame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although, of course, you'd have to manufacture another problem every time. You can't just go back to the holodeck and have them just do a James Bond thing. There has to be some sort of tie-in with the rest of the universe.
Oh, yes. Yeah, true. Because, DS9 had not had a holodeck malfunction episode yet.
And this wasn't a malfunction. I mean, I thought they got their way around that very well. It's like, everything's working fine. We just can't turn it off.
Yeah. Actually, we just used it wrong. We did something weird, and this happened. And it's nobody's, it's not the holodeck's fault, really.
No. So we are a little bit out of our comfort zone here, because this is definitely not a lesser-loved episode.
Oh, no.
No,
it is widely beloved.
Den of Geek ranks it as the 7th best episode of DS9.
Oh, easily.
Binge watching guide to Star Trek Deep Space Nine by Wired recommend not skipping this essential episode.
Hey, if only because it really foreshadows the rise of Rom, the engineer.
Oh, yes. The only thing that I could really find critiquing about it was Michelle Erica Green reviewing for Trek Nation. She criticized the role of women in the episode, saying that they fared better in the James Bond movies, actually.
Yeah, so, you know what? Yeah, let's...
I say we eject the warp core!
There we go. The sexual politics of the 1960s and even the 1990s when this came out were not super excellent, were they?
It was very much, yes. All the names of the female characters in the story are, again, very much reminiscent of...
Honey Bear, Anastasia, Kamononov, and Mona Loves It.
Yes. It's not quite as bad as the ones in, what it was called again, The Spy Who Shagged Me, but...
Smashing, baby, yeah!
Ivana Humpelot, I believe, was one of the characters there.
Ivana. Oh, and that was the woman who she also played in Third Rock from the Sun. She's great. But yes, absolutely. The women do not get to do much except for, boobly titting across the screen.
Essentially, or getting stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
There was some of that. I mean, that's also like kind of one of the Bond girls has to die. That's one of the... big tropes.
One of the very toxic, sub-excellent tropes. Although, Nana Visitor loved this episode. She absolutely adored me. Like, how often do you get an opportunity to do an over-the-top Russian accent and just make it work? It was so much fun.
So, what can you tell us about how this was recommended to us?
This one came to us from Crimson, who studies the blade.
Hi, it's Crimson again. Like the color, he, him. Back with another recommendation from the Berman era. Sorry, not sorry. It's what I grew up watching with the family. This one is probably pretty well liked already, but man, it's just a blast, so why not love on it too? Bashir's 60s action spy holonovel is interrupted by a transporter emergency, and all the major characters are replaced by runabout crew. We get the utter delight of the crew getting to ham it up in absurd Bond-style roles, all the while Garak snarks on the whole mess as a real spy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting through line. The Garak-Bashir interactions are great. Hey, romance, just call it what it is.
Yeah.
The Garak-Bashir interactions are great. Colm Meany gets to play a gangster, which he does well, and Avery Brooks gets to monologue. Plus, the 60s spy camp is perfect. Also, we get a bit of a B-plot that lets Odo, Quark, Rom, and even Eddington solve problems in the dark, which is neat. And hey, holodeck malfunctions are classic of Star Trek, at least of this era. All in all, this is an episode I've remembered fondly even across the decades between when it aired and when streaming made it easy to rewatch.
I mean, it's not really, there's no really a B plot.
No, it's just what happens inside and outside the holonovel.
If anything, the B plot is the holonovel.
Ooh, yeah. Well, maybe it's Garak and Bashir, right? Yeah. Garak's,
But yes, Crimson isn't the only person who was lyrical about the performance, especially from Avery Brooks. As it was said, like, who was it again? Oh, I think the same lady for reviewing for Trek Nation earlier, who said, like, Garak was Bond to play a Bond sidekick. And of the performance of Brooks, it was said by Keith Del Candido, waiting for Tor.com.
Keith R.A. De Candido.
Oh, the R.A. wasn't mentioned in this thing, but yes. Brooks made a villain on par with those played by Donald Pleasance, Christopher Lee, and even Javier Bardem.
Oh, whoa.
Which is very great praise.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, if he didn't quite ham it up as much as he did, I would have agreed, but he was clearly playing it over the top.
Yeah, but he's got that twitchy mania that I really, really enjoyed.
Oh, yes,
that.
he did that very well, but he delivered his lines with just a little bit too much of a theatrical way, I would say, rather than in a movie way. Yeah.
That is what he's famous for. And, but I think in this case he was also like channeling Dr. No. right?
Yes.
The stoicism and the high collar. But I also like Silva, the Javier Bardem's villain in Skyfall, who also had those gross manic twitches.
Yes.
And maybe even a bit of Sean Bean, Sean Bean. He was a bit of a villain at one point as well.
Don't remember which Bond did he play?
It was in yes, it was the Timothy Dalton era. He was actually he started off as 008.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember that one. Yes, he dies immediately, doesn't he? Yes.
Takes him a while.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm thinking of, there's been so many to choose from.
All right, I have to jump in here because I recently went through every single James Bond movie, all the eras, to just kind of take a look and see kind of like how they progressed. And it's really interesting just to kind of look at what does Hollywood think masculinity is like. Like, if that's how you view Bond, that's actually a really interesting piece of like media literacy, I feel like, to look at and examine. But Sean Bean was not in the Timothy Dalton one. Sean Bean was in GoldenEye, which did not come out by this point. Like we were just saying, it was in the very first Pierce Brosnan era one. And frankly, the best Pierce Brosnan Bond movie that there was.
Do we have any warp cores?
Well, aside from the
rampant sexism, yes.
The rampant sexism, and aside from that, how did you enjoy the play? And Kay, okay, so if we're going to warp in, I've done another little thing. So I think it worked quite well to have Captain Kavok chase us last time. But
absolutely.
So instead of inviting Captain Kavok back, who is a bit of a deep cut to some Star Trek lore that not a lot of people have seen, I've actually taken my cue from the last episode we watched. And so we have, at the 30-minute mark and the 1 hour mark, if we make it that far, we have a little alert to let us know to take a break and step things up.
Pew, pew.
But we're going to start off with a little intro from this episode itself, which I edited in the beginning, which is maybe nice to start us off. Okay, here we go. Boom! Crash!
Yes. I mean, that's how it opens. We see the villain, the henchman. Oh, it's still going.
Yes, the whole thing.
A lot of kick for a 45 Dom.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr.
Bashir. Julian Bashir.
And the clapping goes on for so long.
It does go on for so long. So yes, Bashir throws the henchman through the window, kisses the girl, and gets interrupted by a very rude Garak.
Yeah. There's even the bit where, like, he first gets the bottle of 45 Dom, and then he sees the henchman in the reflection.
And he turns around and pops the cork.
And knocking him out, as if that would work.
I mean, probably not, but, it's a little bit more of the more comedy-esque Bond from the Roger Moore era.
Oh, yes.
That's, where...
My husband's favourite, probably not my favourite.
I mean, I was always quite partial to Brosnan.
Oh, yeah, me too. I still vividly remember, I think it was in The Living Daylights, which also had, like, the best theme for me.
Oh, yes.
Where he's got his tuxedo and he goes up to the attic and he flips the collar of his tuxedo up and around, and suddenly he's in this assassin outfit, completely black.
Closes it with a little Velcro.
Yeah,
yes.
Amazing.
Very well done, yes. Also with a little Dutch note in there. It has Jeroen Krabbe as a Russian agent in it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Dutch actors wind up playing Russians in James Bond, isn't it?
I guess it works.
I think wasn't it Rebecca Romaine?
Oh, wasn't she in X-Men?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if she played... Yeah, she might have played a Bond girl.
Chief, which one was it?
Yeah.
So Rebecca Romaine never did act in a Bond movie. She did act in Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me, but just as herself. So maybe that was where the confusion was. Or maybe the confusion was that Famke Janssen was in a Bond movie, was in GoldenEye, actually. So maybe that's what you're thinking of, because Famke Janssen and Rebecca Romaine both worked in X-Men. I don't know what the confusion is, but while I was looking this up, I found out that Famke Janssen was in the running for playing Jadzia Dax, but then decided, no, I want to work in movies more than be in Star Trek. So that's kind of interesting.
Thank you. Right, yeah. So first of all, yes. I mean, why is Garak doing this?
Because he's nosy and he's bored.
Fair enough.
Right. What more excuse does he need?
It's like highly rude and apparently quite even illegal to intrude upon someone's holodeck fantasy program.
Yeah, but he's like a cat. Hey, you've been in this room for a long time and you haven't told me what you're doing there, so now I must be there. I have to be here. Do you understand me?
Right, yes, I have.
I have to be here now.
That's what my cat's like when I'm in the bathroom upstairs.
Yes, exactly.
Paul's coming underneath the door, going like, "Excuse me."
No negotiation is possible.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the same here.
And Garrick does the thing that the cats also do, which is assure you,
I can be very discreet. You'll barely know I'm here.
Good.
but while I'm here, how about I completely deconstruct your whole identity? And like,
Yes.
oh, so this is your fantasy. Are you embarrassed about this? Oh. Also, he just wants to spend time with Bashir, right?
I guess so.
Because
Yeah.
he totes has the hots for him.
To the point that it drives off the female companion that was at the ready for Dr. Bashir, Julian Bashir.
They're like, oh no, oh, she's walking away. Well,
Oh.
I guess it's just you and
me
now, buddy.
Let's go on.
I wonder what scared her away.
He is such a, willfully oblivious, I'll call it, I think. Maliciously oblivious.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's absolute intent here.
Yes. During the credits, they transfer from Paris to Hong Kong.
Yeah, Garak asks about that. Aren't they on opposite sides of the planet? Yeah, then don't worry about it.
Kind of hand waved away.
Exactly.
I
You've
wonder,
got a
I wonder how
private-
that would go in a holodeck program. You would like, I can imagine there would be like some sort of weird transitional scene where you just kind of like from the nightclub, you just kind of like step in a car, step out the other side at the airport, walk through the customs office onto a private jet where you get a drink.
Yeah, right.
And it just like in a matter of like having the drink, you are then like transformed like to the other location. I mean, or would it just be a hard fade, a hard cut?
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, I think for a more immersive experience, you would just like have a super quick little.
It could be just door to door. It could be dream logic because you're fine with it in a dream.
No, that's why I'm like saying, like, would it be that, or would it be like having a little transition scene?
I guess. Oh, how would you write it?
Oh, well, I think
Like,
I think
because
it would
we're
make
talking
it a
about a
cutscene.
convention, right?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh,
I would have it like a
you
little.
could literally have the lights fade out as you walk out and come back up.
Right, but I think that would be more immersion breaking, whereas actually having a little journey, even if it's only a few minutes, would be more immersive.
Yeah, so you'd leave the hotel, get into the elevator, then
Right,
the car, straight onto the tarmac, private jet, couple of drinks,
Exactly.
car again,
Yeah.
elevator, and walk into this. Well, Garak thinks it's quite garishly furnished, but
He does have a lot of commentary on the decorating. Yes.
man, it's so beautiful.
The decor is appropriate for the period, 1964.
Quite an expensive set to build. This whole episode was expensive to shoot. By
Well,
the way.
imagine, yeah.
They spent 9 days filming this, as opposed to the typical 7. Some of them went 8, but this one had like elaborate stunts and set pieces that had to move. So even though they didn't have any extra actors, which also helped, like they didn't have any outside actors to
hardly any,
workshop
yeah.
with, everyone like was very comfortable with one another. Aside from
Allow me to introduce my friend, Mr. Garak. Garak, this is my personal valet. Mona loves it.
who walks into the room in her smashing outfit.
Yes, very 60s miniskirt, high boots. I'll say Garak also looks very good in a tuxedo.
Yeah, he does, doesn't
Yeah.
he? I think the producers of DS9 really wanted to get their characters into lounge jackets and tuxedos because they do look amazing in it.
So yes, something needs to be put away, which shows off his massive weapons collection.
I work for one of the nation states of this era, Great Britain, which is battling various other nations in what is called the Cold War. This apartment, my clothes, weapons, even my valet were provided to me by my government.
Yeah, explain the genre of the spy movie to Garak a little bit.
And Garak is astonished.
Yes.
Because he's used to actual spycraft, which
Yes.
involves a lot less lavish
And you live
lifestyles.
here in this apartment? Yes, well, I'm posing as a playboy, so I need to have the trappings of one.
Yeah.
I think I joined the wrong intelligence service.
That's a fantastic line. It's like, damn.
We get a perfunctory little scene on the runabout approaching DS9 where
Yes.
Eddington is talking to them over the comms. I like how busy he looks, Eddington.
He does. When was he introduced? It's like he's...
Middle of season 4, just in time, or no, actually, I think even at the end of season 3 already. Chief, can we get a clarification on that?
Yep, sure thing. Michael Eddington joined the cast in season 3 premiere, The Search.
Thank you. All of which was setting up his eventual turn because he turns out to be a turncoat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that sounded real impressed. I know it's a bad time for a yawn sometimes. You go, oh, no.
That was
oh, that's awful, but...
that was a slow burn for Star Trek purposes.
Yeah, DS9 was dipping its toe into more serialized storytelling in the middle of its run.
We'd better take the warp core offline.
I can't. There's something wrong with the command control systems. I'm completely locked out.
Magnetic interlocks are failing. Warp core breach is imminent.
Oh, eject it. No good.
Oh, wrong button.
Oh, no. The other one.
The other one.
I say we eject the warp core.
Which, of course, doesn't work because someone removed the warp core ejection system.
Yeah. They start off saying, oh, the ejection system is malfunctioning. And we go, boo, yeah, obviously. No, it's fucking gone. Oh.
This is sabotage.
And there's a Cardassian terrorist organization called the True Way that we all have to care about, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. The heroes are beamed onto our platform, but the runabout explodes, and a bit of explosion is also beamed onto Ops. The transporter pads are destroyed, and our heroes are stuck in the buffer.
Yes, so there's emergency procedures to get the pattern stored somewhere, anywhere else, before the pattern in the buffer degrades.
Suddenly, Odo, who is a cop, is super aware of the intricacies of transporter engineering and the capabilities of the station computer.
Yes, assisting Eddington.
Do you know how much memory it would take to save just one person's neural signature, much less 5?
I don't think we have any choice.
Because there's fucking nobody else.
No, the entire crew left.
Yeah.
An entire senior crew left. They went to a conference. They left the second engineer and the sheriff in charge of the station.
Uh-huh. Actually, he's a security officer, Eddington.
Oh, he's not a technical officer. Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right. Yes.
Security and operations. So, yeah, apparently none of them have backups. None of them have direct reports that can replace them.
No.
So they're just, well, time for a conference. I hope absolutely nothing happens in the station because we're just... Do they have a, out to conference post-it?
I guess, yeah.
Posted on operations?
No, please no political shenanigans on Bajor at this point.
Oh, yeah.
The Jem'Hadar are kindly asked not to show up during this period of time.
And definitely no visits by the Kai.
Yes. Eddington gives the station computer absolute control over do whatever it takes to save this pattern.
Wipe all computer memory necessary in order to save the patterns from the buffer. Authorization Eddington 065 Alpha enable.
Executing command override.
And the lights go out.
Yep. Something that's actually never mentioned in the rest of the... Nothing is mentioned about the general panic, confusion this must be causing across the station, because everything there's no public broadcast message we're dealing...
Oh, good point.
We're dealing with any issues here. It's nothing is ever seen from everything. The dom jot tables stop in quarks.
Yeah, I just got these rejotted.
Yeah.
And the subjot tables in the in the back room that you have to have a special password in order to access. And the the toe declawing surgery that was going on is just interrupted or whatever.
There wasn't any surgery going on because Bashir is in the holosuite, so there's clearly no major medical things going on at the moment.
Oh yeah,
at least that's one thing. But yeah, people get stuck in elevators, whatever kind of thing happens.
Except nothing affects the holosuite.
No, because the holosuite is where the patterns have been saved.
Yes, this should do nicely. Although I'm not too sure about the collar.
He looks quite dapper in the outfit that he gets.
It's got a turtleneck.
Yep, and a jacket over it. That must have been a pain. I wonder if they made a turtleneck with a zipper up the back. Because, imagine, having to... I guess he already had to put that on and then spend 6 hours in makeup. It would be tough to pull a turtleneck sweater over his makeup.
Yeah.
Not sure how durable that is, but that's a tight turtleneck.
I think it was also to save a bit of time on makeup because he also has these neck and shoulder prosthetics usually that are now hidden underneath, so he doesn't have to rock
that
those.
Makes sense, yeah.
He does say, I don't know about this collar, though. Might not be super comfortable for him.
It's perfect.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I remember doing a story reading for... this is going to be wild. So for it was a story
I'll start my segue timer here.
Oh, okay, thank you. It was a furry story, and it was about a trans male deer character.
You've told me this story, yes.
Right, who got, as part of his transition to the male, he got antlers, right? And they were magnetically attached rather than drilled in, which is a later stage in the transition. Yeah. And like at some point, another character like makes a comment that suggests that they're aware that he's a trans man. And he goes, how did you know? You're wearing a pullover.
Yeah. And you've got antlers.
You've got antlers and you're wearing a pullover, so
fakies.
A clue is detected also by Garak and Bashir when they hear a funny noise, and Bashir, who's wearing a very smart suit now, pushes a button and hits
rotate the board.
Rotate the bar in this case. Where there's a bed, a beautiful, like semicircular bed with this.
It's kind of annoying because, like, if you like having your bed and your bar integrated like that. Because if you're in bed and you fancy a drink, you have to get out of bed, rotate the whole thing, fix yourself a drink, rotate the whole thing back again, and get into bed.
Yeah. Unless there's maybe it flips down. Well, you still have to get out of the bed because the bar would crush the bed.
In all honesty, with a regular bar, you would also have to get out of bed to go to the bar. But
yeah, but it's not as easy as just casually sort of walking over naked from the waist down, crunching croissant crumbs as you get an extra cup of olives for your martini.
Yes.
Are olives in martinis nice? I see them a lot, but is that nice?
I mean, it takes an olive to make it a martini.
Does it?
I mean, that's the official garnish for a martini. Because if you take the exact same drink, but you garnish it with an onion, then it's called a Gibson.
Oh.
And I like that. I mean, I prefer those.
Are we talking a little spring onion, or are we talking about a whole ass?
No, those little silver onions. Those cocktail onions.
So we're not talking about like a stein, a mug with an onion. Just
no, talking about one or two of those little silver onions.
Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, it is.
Are they pickled?
Yes.
Yay. Okay.
I'd like those much better than. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of olives. I mean,
I think we need to do a scientific study, Kay. I really need you to. Can we get some Gibsons and martinis later?
I think I'm out of vermouth.
I'll get you vermouth. Don't worry. Actually, no, seriously, I've got vermouth at home because I got Negroni fixins.
Oh, right.
Hey, everybody, just put your headphones off. We're going to be busy for a while.
Vermouth. We need white vermouth.
Oh, no, racist.
Yeah, sorry. Don't make the rules.
Someone's in the bed, though.
Yes, it is Major Kira in the role of Colonel Anastasia Komanonov.
Komanonov. Oh, Christ. Come on, these names.
Yes.
These names, but this is shocking.
Very funny. Who else did you invite along with you today?
Well, this wasn't my idea.
And she's doing a good job impersonating an over-the-top Russian character.
I never thought I'd see you alive again. Not after you fell out of that dirigible over Iceland.
I had a parachute.
But he's still quite miffed.
He doesn't cotton on to the fact that she is the role rather than herself.
Until he gets in touch with operations.
Bashir to Ops, what's going on?
We've got our hands full right now, Doctor. Stand by.
Oh, no, wait.
But it's Eddington who says, wait, hang on. Doctor, where are you? And is there a working computer terminal? Because Ops is dark. And they hear Colonel Komanonov over the...
Oh, that sounds like Kira, yeah.
Oh, that's where they are.
Because Komanonov is actually very upset.
I demand to know who you are talking to. Julian, tell me.
And who is Nerys Kira?
Yes.
Hey, yeah. Sort of putting the Bajoran and... Let me see, who else does this? Japanese names, family names go before the given name.
Yep.
Chinese as well. Hungarian, I think.
Are they? Oh,
I read that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different name order. She goes, who is Nerys Kira? No, it's a Kira Nerys, actually. And they figure out, okay, they're being stored there. That means do not touch anything.
Yes.
Don't interrupt anything because we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't want the holodeck program to suddenly stop running. There's a little weird comment about that later on, which becomes kind of relevant to the plot.
If Honeybear is killed, the computer will erase her character from its program. Now, since the program thinks that Dax is Honeybear,
the computer would actually be erasing Commander Dax's pattern.
It's like, why? It's like it's a program. Why would the program delete the character?
It might be a RAM/ROM thing, where they're in active memory rather than storage. And active memory apparently is vast. I could sort of imagine. Maybe the active memory is like larger in capacity for complex data than long-term storage. Maybe because it uses quantum
resequence photons.
Whatever, resequence those photons. But realizing this, they decide, okay, so we have to play this out. Which Garak questions until Julian shows him the photo in the file that Colonel brought along with her, because she does this thing where she lies back on the bed.
I wish I could relax you, but I am here on business.
Suddenly Manila folder.
Yeah. About this scientist having been kidnapped. A bit of Atlas Shrugged there as well, right?
Oh, yes.
Who is John Galt?
Yeah.
And the manifesto of the sub-excellent person who was Ayn Rand.
Our assignment is to find out who caused the earthquakes and what they want.
Oh, yeah. We've determined them to be artificial earthquakes. And Garak goes,
So, that's not so difficult. One only has to...
Garak.
But he also calls it a rather vague assignment.
Yeah. Assignments are usually much more specific in his line of work.
Yes.
That you have to do a specific thing or a specific person rather than just an investigation.
And you're also generally not told about the reasons behind it or whatever. It's just like, do this, go there, tell this person to do that, and then that's it, or drop off this package, and and you don't get the whole backstory, I would assume, when you're walking in intelligence, because everything has to be compartmentalized.
Yeah, exactly. Infiltrate this royal family so that you can be within 200 meters of the princess at least 5 times a day, and just in a couple of years, maybe you'll hear from us.
He goes like, we're in the middle of an emergency, this is really the time to be playing games. And then, that's when the photo comes out.
And it's Dax in her nerd-ass glasses and her nerd-ass hairstyle, because that's the thing that, with intelligent women who don't know that they're actually beautiful, is that's the thing that they need to discover about themselves, because they're just shy.
Yes, it's Hollywood. It's the whole Hollywood ugly trope. It's like, give them unflattering glasses and a sweater that doesn't match their complexion.
Yeah. Because it's all about beauty, but also like brains are secondary, because his personal valet, she also speaks 7 languages and has multiple degrees.
Yes.
And she mixes
a wicked martini.
Which he just mixed himself.
Yeah. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't,
But we don't have much to complain about. Mona loves it because she doesn't get anything else to do, because she walks in with his tuxedo and a knife in her back.
Well, yes. She kind of comes crashing into the party and... cue 2 random goons.
Good one, goon 2.
The second of the people from the runabout.
It's Falcon.
Nice to see you, Mr. Bashir. Now, I think we have a little unfinished business.
Brian O, now not a lion but a bird. He's got an eye patch on, which is really a great look. That's a really great look for Colm Meany.
It's a bit of a tacky little eye patch. I mean, it's got like the relief of a falcon on it.
Yeah.
It's because I guess that's why it's called the Falcon. And
yeah, you got to accessorize.
Yes, I suppose. It's very James Bond-esque.
He does a little sort of homoerotic caress of Julian's cheek with his silenced gun. Can you name these firearms, by the way?
Didn't get a good look at it.
Because I read on Memory Alpha that they're all period appropriate, at least.
It looks like it might be a Walter.
Ew.
I think it might be a Walter which he's holding. It would be appropriate for a James
Anybody
Bond.
at home, you can go and make a cup of tea. I'm just sending him on a sort of quest to identify, because Kay is very knowledgeable about firearms.
It's kind of hard to say. The angles don't really do it justice. It's clearly got a silencer on it, yes.
And Anastasia asks for, please allow us to have one last kiss.
Yes.
And ever the romantic, he walks out of earshot.
Yeah.
So they can do the
she says,
Farscape Season 4 technique.
Earring. Which is
whispering their plans to each other.
She kind of needs to be reminded of, because apparently that's an earring he gave her. So he should have known that.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess it's like, oh, yes, I got her that for Christmas last year. But a little bit of a reminder. Makes sense.
Oh, after which she's left with a single ear, because he grabs the gigantic pearl, just rips it out of her ear, just tears it to shreds.
It's a clip-on.
I know. And it turns out to be a flashbang, which he flashes and bangs, defeating the villains and leaving the Bajoran with appropriately 1 earring, as is their style.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Hey.
Although she later goes back to Moore.
Yeah, alas.
The Colonel. Why is there an R in Colonel?
Literally unknown.
Oh.
Like, Chief, unless you actually know... But as far as I know, the change in pronunciation, because, we say colonel, and they say colonel in French. Everybody says colonel. Why it said colonel in English is just a mystery.
Cocky, it's even better than that, because it's actually one of your favorite things where it's a compromise that left everyone unhappy, because Coronel did come from the French in about the 16th century, the 1540s, and it was modified from the Italian colonnella, so the commander of a column of soldiers at the head of a regiment, from Compagnia Colonnella, little column company, or from the Latin for column. So the French spelling was reformed in the late 16th century, and the English spelling was reformed in 1580s to conform with the Italian form. So the pronunciation for the R and the L existed until about 1650, but the earlier pronunciation prevailed. And all of that doesn't even begin to discuss the fact that we're also talking about written versus spoken, because we didn't really solidify the written English language until, I mean, it was the invention of the printing press that really started like standardizing some of that. So yeah, it's just a compromise that made everyone unhappy, because like we kind of just kept both to piss off everyone, and I love it.
Who wants to kill the Falcon?
Yeah, because he's been trying to assassinate you for 9 years.
Yes, but no, we can't kill him. We must leave him.
Something that Garak also questions, like, hey, you're allowing a character to persist who can harm us because he has a split lip. So the safeties are off.
Yeah.
No, as you pointed out, he's Falcon, a hired assassin who's going to do everything he can to kill you. And without the holosuite safeties in place, he may just do that.
But he admonishes him. Yeah, Garak admonishes him. You're still treating this like a game where everything is going to end up fine. But as a real agent, you might have to make some tough choices.
Yeah.
Eventually, you may have to let someone die.
I understand how tricky this has to be for Garak, because he's, this is no longer a game. He's known that as soon as they started appearing, this is a real life situation. You may have to shoot someone in the back, which is his preferred way.
It's the safest way, generally.
But Julian puts his foot down and decides, no, we've got to play this out for as long as possible. People are working on this problem, and we've got to buy them time.
Yeah, we just have to keep the program running, so we just have to keep going and make sure that everything nobody gets killed. So we're playing, this is already the first hint that they're not playing by the usual rules of the genre.
Oh yeah, good point.
Which becomes quite a crucial plot point later on in the episode.
Yeah, because in previous holodeck malfunction episode, one of the keys has always been to figure out what the theme is, what the genre is, and play to its strengths. But here is they're fully aware of what the genre is, but they actually have to attain a different goal.
Yes.
Then, that's a clever insight.
Fortunately, there's we know that Dr. Bear has been kidnapped, and
Honey Bear.
And everybody else who's who's anything in that field has also disappeared, 50 or 60 people, and always after meeting with Dr. Noah. So fortunately, let's go investigate Dr. Noah, shall we?
Yeah, and they all met him at this particular club in Paris.
Yes.
That is on the other side of this door.
We have to go back again. So we
have to go into the elevator, they get into the car goes onto the tarmac, they get up the stairs to the private jet, they have 2 drinks maximum, then back out into the car.
It's Sinterhol anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's disappointing, alas.
Yeah.
They do 16 rounds around in the roundabout around. Wow, that's a lot of rounds. Exactly. And they finally land in the club. We don't get to see it immediately though, because
there's a little intermediate scene where we get to see Rom, what he's been doing to keep the holosuites up and running.
What a kludge. We don't even know what it's supposed to look like when they open this panel, but there's so many wires.
I've had to make a few modifications to this holosuite over the years.
A few? It's like a junkyard in here.
Oh, there's a word. Jugad. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's a Southeast Asian and South Asian term for jury rigging or kludging devices together that were never necessarily meant to creating cars and farming equipment out of just leftover bits of Cold War sometimes.
Yep. Well, anybody who's been a computer administrator who's ever worked in data centers has at one point or another come across a patch cabinet, which is kind of very reminiscent of the situation here. It's yes, there are rules and there are best practices, but sooner or later, unless
it all turns into spaghetti.
It all turns into cable spaghetti.
And for those of them who aren't familiar with that, just look in your downloads folder, which looks like this. Downloads copy 2, January, archive,
temp, new temp,
exclamation point temp,
old hard drive,
TMP, unsorted,
MISC.
And productivity and finance, which is where all the porn is.
Crap. Guys, I'm going to be gone for a little bit. I have to clean my downloads folder now because this is... I'm too called out here and I cannot stand for this.
But it's all Rom's doing because Quark won't let him buy new components, so he has to make do. There's a spatula in there.
It's made of a copper ytterbium composite, the perfect plasma conductor.
This is amazingly the second time in 48 hours that I've heard the element ytterbium. Things are weird sometimes.
There's a name for that syndrome. That once you like can't learn a word or become, you suddenly start hearing it all over.
What was it? The Mannheim group?
I don't know. Can you elect us that chief? Figure out what that's called again?
Wait, really? I thought I got rid of that folder. Oh, sorry. I'm still cleaning up my downloads. Yeah, no, the Mannheim effect is actually from a TNG episode, We'll Always Have Paris, about time loop stuff. So not at all about this. However, what you're referring to is the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, or just like frequency bias, frequency illusion.
Oh. I'm looking forward to hearing about that in 6 weeks.
No, whatever it was a German, like, terrorist group.
Oh, right.
That, now that you've heard that term, you're going to hear it at some point in the next month or so, and you'll be thinking about this. Time for some go-go dancing.
Okay, so this is like a little interesting thing here, because like in the previous scene, this is set in the 60s.
Yes.
Yet the subtitles clearly say 80s rock music. Does it say 60s? Oh, it does say 60s. I could have sworn it said 80s on when I saw it in the... When I saw it,
okay, so this is a different syndrome. This is Nelson Mandela, the Nelson Mandela effect, where there are people who could have sworn that Nelson Mandela was executed and that his death was reported on television.
Okay,
or that there was like a sequel to Kazam or something that featured a different rapper. Like people convinced that movies exist, which turn out not to exist. Maybe there were glimpses of parallel universes, or maybe their brain just did a little whoopsie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a couple of neurons got connected in the wrong places.
Actually, it could have been our scripts that made these burned-in GIFs and episodes that we watched that had a little whoopsie. I mean, this is all about computers trying to adapt to difficult situations.
I'd like to see Dr. Noah. I have an invitation.
And in camera moves that waste the extraordinary effort that the costume department went to dress all these people in incredible garments that you barely see out of focus.
Yeah.
We get...
He's still at it.
Non-stop. I have to admit it has a sort of strange fascination. How long can two people talk about nothing?
Okay. Hey, that's our alert.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's our alert to take a little break. So we're going to be right back, and then we're going to try and finish this episode.
Okay.
While the boys are taking their break, I'm going to let you hear a clip from our latest Patreon episode so you can hear just a taste of what you get when you sign up for the Joy of Trek Patreon, just to help us keep the lights on while making the show, since we are entirely audience supported. So without further ado, here's just a little clip from our latest Patreon episode.
Isn't that more intimate? How'd you like that? Hey, Greg, do you like us being this close to you?
Oh, that's actually really convenient. I popped it out of like
you popped us out of the
tiny little tiny little box on the side of the window.
Your little box. Ooh,
it
was really
why are you
snug
like
in there. It was really snug
why are
in
we
there.
friends?
But now you popped us out. And, ooh, we're ready for some
Believe me,
stuff.
I've wondered that many times.
You have contributed. Okay, both of you have contributed to me being like this. Because
Sure, blame it on the victim.
what are you talking about? The only way that someone can become incorrigible is if you encourage him too much. Yes, as you've done.
Well, if that isn't
how this works?
If that isn't a noodle incident intro, I wouldn't know one.
A noodle incident intro. Okay, now you're losing me. Sorry, I'm just googling softcore porn music to put on the background. Oh, this would be let's say this one has panties.
You're doing this because I popped you out. That's
okay.
You know what?
Ooh, that's a lot.
Okay, kind of just blew up my eardrums there a little bit.
Yeah, sorry about that. This is softcore music soundscapes. And the next recommendation is...
I don't know what...
The Life of Brian.
I don't know what era these people grew up in, but this is not what softcore porn music sounded like in my days.
Yeah,
No.
like
This is
maybe for like an intro, for like the cheesy acting. I just remembered my favorite like porn intro ever. I haven't actually seen the actual like smut part of it, but it's just like the lemon thief one.
Thief. Let's find out.
Haley.
I'm so glad that our lemon tree finally grew.
Yes.
Crowded, peaceful, lemony lemons.
I know, me too. I mean, imagine, we can make lemonade, key lemon pie, lemon meringue pie.
It's so bad. I think it's the most valuable property that we have.
I do agree. I think we should go to the bank and get a loan. Actually, I think we should just get lemon tree insurance.
I think you're right.
And then get a loan and use the lemon tree as collateral because it is now insured. I truly do love our lemon tree.
Just imagine a life full of lemon trees.
I know, and all
those lips,
lemons,
endless
possibilities. They're so beautiful.
I
wish
for the listeners at home, we're now watching a woman in a bathing suit.
I would put you on my
I've seen this so many times. I don't even need to see it. Like I don't even need to see it. Just like be picturing what's happening.
Her bodice.
That first chord, it sounds very
lemon-stealing whores. Hey, has it been about 10 seconds since we looked at our lemon tree?
It's been about 10 seconds till we looked at our lemon tree. Hey, what the
Oh, that's where it's from! Is this where it's from? I've heard that meme all the time. Those lemons.
I don't think that's where it's from.
No.
But Kaki, I've got a little bit of an idea. What if we refer to our Patreon members as a lemon stealing whores?
Lemon stealing whores.
Well, I'm not sure how well that would go down.
Okay, we'll do another poll. Hey, speaking of polls, here's another porn scene.
I mean, there's.
You need to see this. Sorry, I'm going to change how we're.
There's something, but there's like juggalos, and that's like one thing.
We had a plan. I'm going to do the screen sharing again so you can actually see the rest of this majesty. You're going to see my entire screen, so please don't look at any of the other porn that I've got on. Just the porn that I'm going to play for you.
Just the porn that you want us to see, not the other porn. Okay.
Yes, this one. So we start with a young, fit man in foamy bath.
I think I have seen this one.
That is...
Camera pushes in.
Lifeguard running down the hall?
It's a fancy bath.
Yeah, I've seen the skit. That's
not a skit. It's not a skit. This is actual.
Oh, okay.
And it's amazing. Porn. If all porn was this good, no one would outlaw it. And now we've got someone. Is it the same woman? Hey, actually, she's got the same outfit.
There are more than one red bathing suit. I mean, like.
But she's in heels. She has dark hair. She's another lemon. She's a lemon stealing whore.
I don't think she's here for his lemons.
But she moonlights as a lifeguard. Good for her.
Yeah, she's got a.
I see you don't have a lifeguard here at your beach.
I'm not at the beach. This is a bathtub.
Is that not?
No body of water is safe without a lifeguard.
It's 2 feet deep, lady. What are you doing?
You can drown in 2 inches, man.
You can relax.
It looks a bit like
You're
that.
safe now.
Who's the one that plays Ferris Bueller again? Matthew Broderick. He does look a bit like Matthew Broderick, don't you think?
And he's sort of. Yeah, I see what you mean. Greg, what do you think?
I'm just envious of like that many like bubbles in a bathtub because like every time I've tried to take a bubble bath, it is not nearly that good.
Okay.
Aren't you glad you had a lifeguard here to save you?
Wait a minute. You should go. There's no need for you to be here.
I think I should stay, and I think we should have sex.
What the?
Look at her eyes. She's good. Yeah. This is what it looks like when you force reality onto someone.
Okay. I mean, I've seen
what
a
were
lot
we
of
doing?
weird.
Oh shit! There was a we were doing the podcast.
We were doing
How much of this is in the intro?
Well,
is all of this the intro?
I wonder what's going to get us a YouTube strike. Oh shit! No, it's for a lemon stealing whore Patreon fans. It doesn't go on YouTube. Oh no!
What's up, you lemon stealing whores?
What is up?
So that was a clip of just some of the shenanigans that you can expect for signing up for our Patreon at patreon.com/joyoftrek. Just a couple dollars a month if you're able to. Really does help us out here, continue making the show. And you can enjoy the chaos of what happens when I can finally break through the subspace time vortex to speak directly to Kaki and Kay. And you can see the kind of questionable choices we make together. Thank you so much. And now, back to the episode.
May I see your invitation?
Dr. Noah.
I am Duchamp. I am Dr. Noah's associate.
Oh, all the costumes in this Parisian nightclub set are amazing, but honestly, nobody looks as good as Worf in his white smoking jacket.
So I noticed something that I was just wondering about, like the maître d' or whatever it is from the casino disappears behind the scene to confer with someone to see if they can see Dr. No. And this is gorgeous glass matte panel, which is actually the same panel that the bad guy gets thrown through in the opening scene.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
Oh, they must have had a spare one lying around just in case.
Well, I assume they just filmed this scene first and later the one where they're thrown through the... Like, are we done with this head? Yeah, absolutely certain. Yeah, all right, then we'll... now we're going to do, at the very end, we're going to do the scene where he gets thrown through the glass pane.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't even noticing. I mean, we just see the silhouette of Worf's gigantic head, and then we see him in his...
Oh, also
this
in
is
smoke.
Such a good look.
Yeah, well, it's not a tuxedo, I guess, if it's white.
Smoking jacket, isn't it?
I don't know. Could be.
I don't know.
Chief,
I mean,
there's a big difference in like what we call in Dutch. We call it smoking, but that's how a tuxedo is referred to in Dutch, which is something else entirely than a smoking jacket.
There's sorry, Chief. We have a new one now. Is there a word for loan words that don't mean what they mean in the original language?
Oh.
Examples include matinee,
right?
An afternoon showing, which is in French morning.
An entrée.
Yes, which is not the main dish.
Yes, it's a starter.
Exactly, but that's how it's used. Oh, and my favorite is the German word for mobile cellular telephone.
Handy.
Fahrt Handy ohne Handy.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I can tell, it looks like the word for that is just semantic change of just, you're changing the semantics, the word from it. So like semantic change, semantic progression, semantic drift, like really any of it, because you're changing the semantics, the meaning of the word. That folder needs to go away. Yeah, I'm still on this. I'm still cleaning this up. Look what you've made me do, Cocky. Come on.
So we have the obligatory casino scene where they talk that they want to see to Dr. Noah. But it will cost him 5 million francs.
No problem, says Julian Bashir,
which
pulling
is
out
only about 5 grand.
Is what in the 1960s.
Oh yeah, of course it would have been more then. But even then, the franc was not a particular strong currency.
No, but like a scientist wouldn't have probably possessed millions of many other more valuable denominations.
It's a bit of a weird criterion, because it just gives a large but kind of insignificant amount of money, especially on the scale of Dr. Noah's operation.
Hey, this might just be Duchamp inserting himself in the professor's business.
I do not understand. Where's the rest of your money?
Right in front of you.
Because he just puts out one bill and it goes like, oh, that's right in front of you. The pile of money that you have there, which I'm now going to win from you and then use that to pay you back. So... rather than...
Yeah, what's in it for Duchamp at this point?
Right? Yeah.
Aside from, well, he clearly loves to play Baccarat because he was sitting alone at a table playing with nobody.
Getting ready for someone to show up to play Baccarat with. You just spend an inordinate amount of time paying attention to a cigar.
Yeah, there's a lot of cigar work going on here. They're particularly comedically long cigars. Well, not comedic, lots of people enjoy those, and we have in the past ourselves, because they're delightful treats for those of us who indulge in tobacco every now and again.
Yes, there's a few unseen hands of Baccarat.
Yep. While back on DS9, there's some techno-babble-bibble about a possible solution, but it's going to take some time.
This is where we find out that it had the runabout was in fact sabotaged.
A plot point that is not relevant, nor does it come back.
Nope, not at all.
And Bashir successfully relieves Duchamp, Worf in this case, of all of his money, who responds by pulling out his cigar case.
Yes.
And one of the cigars has a red band.
Yeah, he removes the band, which I guess is the safety, and steps up right in front of the trio and basically blows smoke in their face, and which knocks them out.
Yeah.
Cut to Mountain Retreat of Evil plot guy.
Dr. Noah. Dr. Hippocrates Noah.
I only just now caught that one. Dr. Noah. It's like that literally only just now occurred to me. It's like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Because a few times you've actually called him Dr. No by mistake.
Oh, no, I think I was in those cases I was talking about the actual Dr. No when we were talking about the original James Bond. But yeah.
It's wonderful. And also because his plan is to flood the Earth.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, Noah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very good, yes.
Don't know about the Hippocrates part, aside from being a doctor, but it's a gorgeous set, which Garak has, again, reservations about.
Yes.
Another decorator's nightmare. This era had a distinct lack of taste.
Bashir, who is posing as Dr. Merriweather, because that was his plot. He was like, "Oh, I'm actually a geologist."
Yeah, you want to.
And I know that Dr. Noah is doing a lot of things with geology, and I kind of feel left out. So can I get in? Can I?
Got to collect them all. Well, what about me?
Yeah.
Why haven't I been kidnapped? What the fuck? Am I boiled ham? What's the deal?
It's like this. I'm being dissed here. I can't have that.
I believe you've been looking for me. My name is Hippocrates Noah.
Oh, he looks amazing. Avery Brooks.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's got a Nehru collar, the buttoned up uniform of a diabolical genius.
He is invited to inspect a rather gaudy, vase container or something.
Maybe an urn.
Which is like decorated with all sorts of jewels and
precious jewels,
which Bashir has to kind of identify to prove himself as a geologist.
Impressive that Bashir has that knowledge at the ready.
Maybe it's just playing on his personal cue card that you get when you have these holo adventures where you have to when you don't have the technical knowledge that your character does.
Oh yeah,
you just get a little cue from the program.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, before you enter, like everyone who plays a role, you get little index cards.
Exactly.
Spend 5 minutes memorizing these, and you can look amazingly clever.
Critical information. And he manages, just from looking out the window, say that, this has looked like Everest at 22,000 feet.
25, actually.
Yeah, Dr. Noah is not impressed.
No.
But he seems like a person who is not easily impressed. He furnishes Anastasia with a cigar and treats himself to one. I don't see him offering one to
the others, yeah.
I think he pointedly even sort of puts the box aside.
Yeah. But yes, he does a little bit of explaining what's going on.
Yes, allow me to villain-splain.
Yes.
And he pushes a button, and then his bar turns around and becomes an illuminated map of the world.
Console, yes.
We are building a new future here. A new beginning for mankind. A new chapter in human history will open right here on my island.
Oh, the kidnapped Dr. Honey Bear, whom they were trying to save, now walks in.
She seems to be completely in on this plan. She's not even being coerced. She's just like, yeah, this is good.
In cahoots.
Yeah.
That's what they are. All of these other unseen scientists, they've John Galted. Atlas shrugged.
Oh right, I couldn't get through it.
It's not very good.
I know. It's like
it really isn't very good. Like I know it primarily from the enthusiastic ramblings of like first year students at various points in my life who'd all read it for the first time. We have to have the same conversation again. Now I understand how attractive that seems and how simple it is, but let's actually work through and let's also think about where Ayn Rand, how the trajectory of her life wound up. How she died alone, friendless, and on welfare.
Okay,
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. I mean, it's the epitome of like every complicated problem has a simple solution that's wrong.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, that is exactly right. Including Dr. Noah's simple solution to the complexities of the world.
We are just like on all these places across the Earth. I've put big lasers which will bore their way through to the magma of the Earth, and the magma will come flooding out, and this will cause the crust of the Earth to shrink.
None of which makes any f***ing sense.
Which will cause the waters to rise and the Tibetan plateau to remain as the only one island. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few other mountaintops sticking out of the water.
Right, and they
Mauna Kea will probably still be above
And they will all be sort of stabilized by Dutch water engineers, because who the else is going to live there? I believe that when... what was the name of the gentleman who does the XKCD webcomic? Randall
Monroe. That's the one, yeah.
Stand down, Chief. We got this one. Also runs XKCD is a wonderful webcomic. And this person, I think he's a mathematician by trade.
Oh, I think so too, yes.
Also did a side blog for What If, where he really investigates stupid questions like, what if someone threw a baseball at light speed and you hit it? What would happen? And this one was, what if all the liquid water was transported from Earth to Mars?
Yes.
And then he worked on, like, there are topographical height maps of the surface of Mars and, like, calculating the total volume of liquid water on Earth and how that would distribute over Mars. And he figured that there would be, like, Olympus Mons would still have a bit sticking out.
Yeah.
And he dubbed that New Netherlands because who the else is going to live there? So that's his diabolical plan, Mr. Bashir.
Basically, the plot just kind of gets explained, and there's not a lot that goes on there.
Pity you won't be able to join us.
Are you revoking my invitation?
Oh, I intend to do more than that, Mr. Bashir.
Brings in the heavies. Falcon is apparently been revived and is now shown up here. His newest employee.
Yep.
Whereas
summoned by a button under a table. He has a secret button under a table. Why the fuck is that there? It's your office. You can just yell.
I suppose. I mean, that's just uncouth, you know? Like,
okay, no, you're right.
It's like then President Trump's secret Coca-Cola button, you know?
A what now?
Oh, he literally had a button in the Oval Office.
He had a dash button?
He had a dash button that, like, if he pushed it, then someone would come bring him a Coke.
What a fucking dweeb. Yeah. I mean, you know, other than that, no notes. Perfectly fine head of state. Yeah. But this just cannot handle.
They get instructions from the crew who are still working on the holodeck problem, basically.
Oh, yeah, we see a hallway
Keep it going. We only have a few more minutes to go.
O'Brien's going to kill me when he gets back.
Yeah, the hallway's completely been torn apart because they've decided to bring in the Defiant.
Yes, because it has a working transporter, and so we just sort of wire up the holosuites to the Defiant.
Which is going to take a little bit of problem because, like, ROM stuff was never designed to interface with Federation equipment.
God, it's great. I love seeing this kind of kludging. They've had to replicate like 2,000 different styles of spatula in order to make this interface work. But yet you have to keep it going. And apparently, this is why we're doing 9 days of filming. A new set, the Underground Cave laser set.
This is one of 74 lasers that I've deployed around the world. When I throw that switch, it'll begin a 5-minute countdown that even I can't stop.
Bashir and Garak are chained to.
But not the Major, who, hey, let's continue having excellent representation for women here. No, we need breeding stock, essentially. She is
that was it, yes.
A virile, fit woman. We will need those to repopulate the Earth. Hooray.
Yeah, so they get handcuffed to the support struts of the laser, and there's a little bit more monologuing here. I don't quite understand why he wants to have magma pouring out in the bottom of his own lair, but, you know, whatever. And
hang on. Sticking to that, the magma comes out and then solidifies and becomes more land.
Something like that, yes.
So you're still going to
have a little problem here. Because, it says like, and once the laser... Sorry?
No, please continue. I'm quietly fuming in the background.
Oh, once the laser fires, the whole cave will be filled with molten lava.
Also known as...
No, it's magma when it's still underground.
Yes.
And it's lava when it comes above ground. But they're in a cave. So it's technically still magma.
You're right. Like that episode of the life-size puppet series Dinosaurs.
Oh, yes.
Where they take meteor insurance and their house gets destroyed by a heavenly body from outer space. But, you know, when one of those rocks enters the atmosphere, it becomes a meteorite.
Yes.
It's only a meteor until it enters the atmosphere. So you were hit by a meteorite, not a meteor.
So your insurance was invalid. Wasn't that the last episode when there's... basically which is basically the extinction event?
No. The last episode is the Ice Age happens and they're all sitting there in denial while the world freezes around them.
Oh, that was it.
It's so cynical.
It is.
So hardcore.
It is very... All right, a big knife switch gets flipped.
Yep. and Bashir and Garak are left to confess their feelings for one another.
I don't know if I've made this explicit to you or not, Doctor, but I really don't want to die chained to a 20th century laser. I think it's time to end this program.
Like, he's been following Bashir's lead this whole time, and he's reaching the edge of his tolerance.
Yes, it's like, yeah, we're going to have to cut our losses. We're going to have to end this program. We can't, like, this is becoming dangerous.
Because we're going to die here.
Yes. What if this entire room floods with magma? Okay, question.
Yeah.
How does the holosuite handle that?
I don't think they want to find out.
No, but like, can the holosuite create magma? Wouldn't that like destroy the holosuite, the equipment? It's like,
yeah, actually, yeah, huh?
There's one thing about overriding the safety controls, but
one thing, yeah, that would actually take like a lot of matter. And, I guess it really wouldn't be that different from like making a cup of tea. Honestly, like, do you make the whole cup full of tea, or do you just make the outside of the cup warm and have a little meniscus of water on top?
Depends on if someone is meant to drink it or not, I guess.
Actually, just a pool of water. You'd probably be swimming in like an unspecified cube of liquid, and the rest would be an optical illusion.
Oh yeah, but that's how holodecks work. But even then, magma,
Yes, you just have a bit of hot
you just
gunk
get fried a little bit
until you're totally sizzled away. Because the only thing that matters is obliterating the observer at that point.
I suppose.
In order to sell the illusion.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not entirely... You just went along with that, which is obviously an insane thing.
Yeah.
Is this because you're used to me saying these things and it's not even funny when I do? Or
no.
were you maybe not completely paying attention?
No, I'm saying like you're actually right. This probably would be... It wouldn't have to create a room full of magma. It would have to create the illusion of a room full of magma.
Yeah.
So
just enough for
you're actually probably right in this case.
I worry about us sometimes, actually. This is not normal for a lot of people.
But fortunately, a honey bear shows up for some reason.
For some fucking reason. Yeah. After the timer has already started.
She just like wanders up and she's like has her little clipboard and she starts like taking readings of various dials and balls.
Are you here? Has she maybe not been informed about the diabolical plan?
I mean, she's probably been helping design it. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it's kind of weirdly appropriate for like the James Bond thing where he gets to like sexy talk to one of the Bond girls and like sway her away from the plan and make her see the evil of her ways. But not even that. It's just...
Nope. The one weakness that this accomplished woman has is...
being told...
Your hair would look so much better if it were free.
Uh-huh. The thing that she needs that is deficient from her life is a man's approval, and he gives her just a taste of it.
I'd give you both some privacy if I could.
Yeah, and she kisses
like
him, and then she leaves, and then he suddenly has a key that he uses to open the handcuffs with. So basically what he did, he told her that she was beautiful, got her to kiss him in order to get her to leave.
She came back. So she was about to walk away after he gave her that whole spiel.
So why couldn't he not just let her walk away and use the key anyway?
She gave him the key.
Did she?
That's the suggestion. When she comes back to kiss him, that's when she gives him the key. She's his plan. It's not very well established. I can understand.
I was going to say, it's like you
missing it.
Yeah.
But she releases him.
Kiss the girl, get the key. They never taught me that in the Obsidian Order.
Because now she feels appreciated by a man, which is the one thing that she needed in her life this whole time.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Multiple doctorates weren't enough.
I totally missed the fact that she gives him the key. Yeah.
Well, how else would
I don't know.
Situation be resolved?
I don't know. That's why I thought it was weird. But yeah,
clearly the only way to resolve this is to exploit a totally ridiculous deficiency in a highly accomplished woman.
As the trope goes in the James Bond things. Yeah. So, a few seconds left. The laser starts. It actually looks more like a jet exhaust to me than a laser, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's a special type of laser. It is a new type of laser.
It is a crust-penetrating laser.
And we got to get out of here. This place is coming down. It's going to blow. And now Garak has had enough. Okay, now we definitely need to get out of here. We need to open this door. And Bashir, while he's assembling an adorable little gun,
cute little golden gun that he's putting together
out of his like cufflinks and his tie clip, and it's so adorable.
Very big reference to
the man with the golden gun.
Man with the golden gun. Yeah, that was Christopher Lee.
Oh, I haven't actually seen that one. I don't think.
Okay.
There's a lot of Bond that I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's got a very famous stunt where they jump a car over a river while doing a barrel roll.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Is that also the one with the two totally gay assassins?
No, that's Diamonds Are Forever.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Mr. Wint and Mr.
Yes.
Who, hey, have we mentioned how just totally gay Garak is for Bashir?
Yes.
This deep into the series, that was something that had to be toned down by the powers that be, and the famously, not very broad-minded and, let's say, homophobic Rick Berman.
Oh, good point. There was I think we talked about it recently. I think I came across an interview with...
Oh, yes, with Alexander Siddig.
Yes. How they basically how he played that up, and by making him a little bit intimidated and a little bit attracted to Garak.
Oh, yeah. It was Andrew Robinson who started it. Because they're meeting in season 1. It was supposed to be just a little throwaway character. But he treated that as why would this perfectly normal tailor be going up to this adorable, juicy little ripe peach of a doctor? Because he wanted to f*** him. Which he said in interviews. Yeah, I just totally wanted to f*** him.
Maybe we can find that link to that interview and put it up in the show notes.
Oh, that'd be excellent.
It's definitely worth a read.
What you're talking about is the interview with Siddig as part of Arab Heritage Month.
Right, that was it, yes.
Where he said, this is something that Garak brought with him to the party, a bottle of implied homosexuality. Let that be your tombstone. A bottle of implied homosexuality.
Implied.
Oh, yes, oh my God. Oh, no, I'll do the applied homosexuality. You can... and Bashir was really shining for awkward people. That was his thing. And he also said that this episode was pivotal for the public appreciation of Bashir, whom, he made some character choices. He was not a particularly likable character.
No.
Right? It was very, very awkward, young, insensitive to the sensibilities of other people around him.
Bit of a know-it-all.
Yeah. A bit of
Which is saying something for Star Trek.
Flirt. Oh, yes, absolutely. But seeing those qualities actually come to the fore here was quite instrumental in getting a lot more people on board with Bashir and therefore Garak-Bashir, because they missed such a step. Not having them become
yes.
I know that there's an epic bromance between Bashir and O'Brien, which was also awesome. They're totally straight hetero life mates.
I mean, yes.
But
yes, he manages, he goes off on a rant.
Is that what they taught you at the Obsidian Order? To give up when things get tough? As a matter of fact, they did. That's why I've managed to stay alive while most of my colleagues are dead, because I know when to walk away, and that time is now. Now! And you'd know that, Doctor, if you were a real intelligence agent.
And he threatens to leave, to save himself.
Yeah.
He explains it I've gone far enough and now I'm going to save myself. And Bashir pulls his little gun, his adorable little baby gun.
Yeah, he goes you're not going to shoot me. And yes, try me. And yes, he actually shoots him.
Computer, show me the mechanism. Oh!
Gives him a grazing shot in the neck, which seems to earn him a measure of respect from Garak.
Yeah. Because at least the Doctor is firm enough in his convictions, and that does earn Garak's respect. Because
that was awful close.
What if you killed me?
What makes you think I wasn't trying?
Doctor, I do believe there's hope for you yet.
Yes. He clearly appreciates it. They burst into the throne room, whatever you want to call it.
They play a game of gun patty cake where... They come in with one more gun than is currently pointed at them, and Garak grabs another gun from someone, but very soon Falcon comes in, or is it Duchamp or whatever? It really doesn't matter. And now
Duchamp comes in, Falcon gets thrown down, then Duchamp comes in to save the day with his gun of his own.
And now the bad guys take the good guys' guns, and it's just guns all around. And Dr. Noah wants to waste no more time and points them at Bashir.
Yes, and Bashir goes well, actually, I'm with you.
I'm an intelligence agent. And if there's any one thing I've learned, it is that there comes a point when the odds are against you and there is no reasonable course of action but to quit.
He uses exactly the same line that Garak just used on him.
And how cool is that?
It is amazing.
Because he's actually learned from Garak.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite things in the modern Western style of storytelling, how characters become better because of their friends. They learn from one another, and that's an amazing power that they have. In this case, appropriate to the genre, he's under a timer because Eddington informs him, we've got 2 minutes.
Just keep it going for 2 more minutes, then we can initiate the transfer. And the thing that I really like about the scene is how the program is clearly struggling with Bashir's turncoating.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's like he knows he's supposed to like monologue and fight and give him the opportunity to save the day, and you can see that he's clearly like not struggling with like Bashir going off script.
Yeah,
because he keeps coming back to doing his diabolical things and his evil plans and threatening to kill people. When in fact Bashir is going, no, I'm perfectly fine. I'm going ahead with you, and even slams the button down on the console himself.
Yeah. Because Dr. Noah says, hey, do you think that going over there will allow you to destroy my control panel?
Oh, no, I'm not going to destroy it. I'm going to activate it. Slap.
And the colonel goes, what the f***?
Yes.
You've destroyed the world.
But that's the inside. Like, the world doesn't exist. Only these people matter.
Exactly. The world, which actually floods quite rapidly. It's a matter of seconds that we can see the world map, like,
and not even the lightest tremor on this.
Not even slightly. There's no waves crashing outside. There's no
not even a
gailing
cloud
thunderstorms which suddenly
overhead.
start going by. It's
just the world melts down to this one little bit.
The little island of Tibet, New Netherlands.
But actually, I retract that because the Netherlands does have a pretty awful colonialist past, and I don't think we need a new Netherlands.
Point.
We don't
Yes,
need to.
very good point.
None of that's needed. But Dr. Noah says,
I didn't expect to win. I suppose the only thing left to do now is to kill you.
See, that's what I mean. It's like, you won. It's like, can't he be magnanimous? Is that the right word?
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous, and say like, well...
Magnanimous.
Okay,
in the case of so many tons of liquid magma.
Well, no, it's
Magmalicious.
outside. It's now it's lava again.
We're not going through this K again. You put me on a tangent timer. Goes both ways, buddy. And Bashir has no response.
No.
He is perfectly willing at this point to let Dr. Noah execute him if it keeps the program running long enough for his friends to be
just
saved.
a little bit longer, yeah.
Right.
But fortunately, in the nick of time,
our heroes are beamed off the holodeck and into their uniforms, and also their brain contents is beamed back into their heads, which is also
because they have no idea, they don't have any recollection of anything what happened. It was just basically the program using the images. It's actually explained that because the physical pattern is stored in the holosuite computer, but the rest of their consciousness is stored in the rest of the station. I believe that's how it's.
I was kind of hoping maybe they would like talk to the other personalities of like add an extra D or E plot.
Ah, yes.
Where Worf is now the weapon system, and when he sneezes, when he farts a little photon torpedo out.
Yeah.
Oops! Sorry,
I shouldn't have trusted that one.
Wet one. And Garak congratulates Bashir because he really does respect his friend's like commitment. He was willing to die for the people that he loves, and he had a really interesting solution. And that's where he says, like, playing these kind of fictions does keep the mind creative.
You save the day by destroying the world.
I bet they didn't teach you that at the Obsidian Order.
And this is a strength that comes from their friendship, because any time that Garak has shared a Cardassian literature, apparently the nature of great Cardassian literature is really quite different. There's nothing novel about it. It's affirming the same patterns repeating again, the victory of the state and the permanence of the Cardassian way of life. So seeing this kind of novelty is really refreshing for him.
It keeps the brain active. And he proposes lunch tomorrow.
But why don't we have it at your place? In Hong Kong?
Yeah, with our clothes off and just, dine on grapes from one another's supple bodies. Oh, do you have a heat rock? I love heat rocks. Have you ever tried a Cardassian heat rock? That's how they do sonas. It's so great. And it says, Julian Bashir will return, but not if the lawyers of MGM Studios have anything to say about it. Definitely will not. Okay, we've actually made it before we got interrupted by the second alert.
we know what we apparently we know what we're doing if we stay a little bit on track.
So, who do you think in this episode was
so fucking cool?
Oh,
yeah,
Garak.
Garak?
Yeah,
I know. He was having so much fun.
Actually, no, Worf. I think mine goes to Worf, yes. I mean, Garak was okay, but he was kind of like he was a sidekick in this whole plot. He was not really plot involved. He was standing there more, and I mean, he didn't really do anything other than threaten to leave the holodeck. And
I'll say I think he was at least observing and got a few moments to react, as opposed to Duchamp, who was just straight up a stock character.
Yes.
He's basically like Le Chiffre from Casino Royale.
Yes. Well, I didn't say Duchamp was my favorite. I said Worf was the role of Worf in this was the.
Yeah, I think so too. He's so charismatic, right? Oh, I think you're right.
It's fun to play. Yeah, it's fun seeing him play like an entirely different type of character, but still in the guise as Worf.
Yes. Yeah, you're right, because it was Worf portraying Duchamp, portrayed by Michael Dorn.
Yeah.
And looking absolutely gorgeous. Oh, do you know, mine's going to go to the costume team. Because even though we didn't get to see much about it, I really paid attention to some of these gifs. And like in the background, you've got these African potentates and these gorgeous cocktail dresses and fantastic outfits.
And then the power went out, and I got lost.
All right, shut up. Just shut up.
There we go.
That's our 1 hour mark. But we already made it. So we had our MVP. Now, what about our
Captain's log supplemental?
Oh, it's going to be very obvious, the scene of them walking out to the nightclub, down the elevator, into the car, into the airport lounge, into the airplane,
handing over their passports. Garak getting the blue glove treatment. Is this normal? Oh, feature. Nice bonus. Mine's going to be the staff meeting afterwards, where they go, hey, we have got to stop abandoning our posts completely for so long. Or at least we've got to train some people to do our jobs while we're not doing them.
I mean, everything was handled perfectly. There wasn't nary a complaint from the entire station.
Oh no! In my scene, the station is still completely dark. Because they have to wait for like 13 weeks for a new computer core to be installed and the backups to be unspooled from the tapes.
Spending through 3 days getting the memory bricks, the storage bricks of the memory lost.
There you go.
Last station dump restored. Yeah, because it's easy to like delete everything and just throw it into the buffer into it, but now it has to be brought back up again painstakingly, one memory bank at the time.
And Odo's there, and he's got just like when Worf came on board and he had a stack of pads about all the various misadventures that the Enterprise had, he's had a list of all the times that everyone on DS9 abandoned their posts and there was no backups, and it just happened to work out, but you leave so often. You go on the Defiant and then there's nobody in ops.
Everybody.
I'm in charge of a space station and I'm just a rent-a-cop, guys.
No, absolutely true.
Okay, so I don't really have like a sound effect for the next one. No, that's not
it.
You
tried that one last week.
Yeah, okay. So let's find out what we're going to do next week, because out of the many submissions that we've received for recommendations, and by the way, if you'd like to recommend an episode to us, you can do so at joyoftrek.com/links. You can go there right now. There's a handy form where you can send us an episode that you remember and tell us why it was important to you. And it can be because you loved it because it was so good, but we love it especially when people have a personal connection, or you saw something in there that spoke to you, or you have a perspective on a not widely beloved episode that means that you love it more than anyone else. And from these, our chief engineer makes a selection, and then he just pulls a little collection of quotes that we have to guess from. So here we go. Let's see if you get this one before I do, Kay, because I think you won last time. Ooh, competitive episode.
I didn't win this one. It was I got the Enterprise one.
Competitive element.
Let's
see who wins.
Bring it on.
Why would you need someone who speaks a few languages on a ship that can translate all of them?
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's try one more.
If you're going to poke around in my head, I'll need some coffee first.
Coffee? Oh, maybe Janeway?
Ooh. I mean, why did you need... There's no real communications officer on Voyager, is there? No linguistic... I mean, we've got linguistic experts in Enterprise and, to a certain degree, Uhura in Discovery.
Strange New Worlds. Yeah,
Strange New Worlds. Yes, sorry, Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think which of the Star Trek franchises actually has a comms officer that.
You thinking Strange New Worlds?
Maybe. I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because there's not usually a point being made of there being a person on board who speaks many languages. So I'm trying to narrow it down. So I'm thinking either Enterprise or Strange New Worlds, because
I like where you're going.
It's going to be either Hoshi or Uhura they're talking about.
All right, let's see another clue.
I believe he has lost the capacity for rational decision.
That sounds like a Spock line.
Yes, very much so.
Or maybe Data.
Yes.
I mean, there's not famously coffee drink. Oh, it might even be Tuvok. Because coffee, Janeway, that's pretty close. Oh, there's people at home screaming into their headphones, but we have more clues.
The phenomenon of your stubbornness belongs in a medical textbook.
That sounds like another Tuvok line.
No, sorry, it was the same one again. I keep doing this. It autoplays the next one if I don't stop it. Maybe original series?
Could be, yeah. I'm totally clueless so far.
Okay, last one.
Computer, just curious. How was I supposed to beat it?
That sounds like a Kobayashi Maru scenario.
Whoa! Oh, Prodigy!
Oh?
What if it's Prodigy?
Oh, that could be.
Because there you have the holographic Janeway.
Yes.
Oh, that could be it. Oh, that's exciting. We haven't seen Star Trek Prodigy in a while. Let's see.
No. All right.
The episode is Prodigy.
Yes!
Season 1, Episode 6, Kobayashi.
Very good.
Oh, you got it right, Kobayashi. Well done. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you had a good time. And I guess there's just one last question to answer.
The hell is this?
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Energize!
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode with friends Kay and Kaki, production and editing by your chief engineer Greg, and music by Fox Amore. Join us next time for Kobayashi Prodigy 106. Visit joyoftrek.com/links to send us your recommendations, support us on Patreon, or to find us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to The Joy of Trek, and we'll see you out there.